My best friend never put any effort into our friendship, so I tested her.
Orange pill?
Names have been changed. I, 27 female, was best friends with Victoria, 25 female, for almost 5 years. Victoria and I met while working part-time at a local smoothie shop in our city, and over time, we became close friends. Although she was 2 to 3 years younger than me, we had a lot in common, and we quickly became inseparable.
Look, it's a smoothie duo.
It's the Smoothie Girls.
It's banana and strawberry.
By the way, this comes from Puzzle Queen 811 on the OK Storytime subreddit. I also quickly became a part of her family as her parents and siblings really liked me, and as we had built up a strong level of trust and respect. I was that one friend who her parents would also trust and always say yes to her doing things if I was going with her. Basically, in their eyes, I became an honorary big sister to her and child to them, which made me really happy. Due to our small age difference, there were 2 years where we weren't able to hang out as often as I was in college finishing up my degree. I traveled home very often as my university was only 2 hours away from my hometown and as I didn't have many friends. One thing to know about me is I am one of those people who has a very small friend group because I'm very introverted.
Got it.
Because of this, I am extremely loyal to those people I consider friends and will do almost anything I can to keep those friendships strong and alive.
Got it.
After I graduated from college, I returned to my hometown for 2 months before moving with my father to another state where he would retire. This was only supposed to be a temporary thing, and my plan was to move back to my hometown once my father was all set up and after I landed a full-time position. A few months had passed. I made numerous trips back home to spend time with Victoria and my 2 other friends to celebrate her birthday and keep plans we had previously made.
I see you.
Also, at this time, I was in the final stages of a few interviews to land a full-time job. However, all of this came to a complete halt when COVID started. 2 weeks became 2 months, which eventually became almost 2 years. And as you might assume, my plans to move back home never worked out. In order to not waste time during COVID, I went back to school for my master's degree and eventually found a part-time, in reality, a full-time job to help pay for my education. During this entire time, I never lost hope for my dream of moving back to my hometown. It was around this time that I started to notice a difference in Victoria and I's friendship. Very peculiar. I continued to make trips back home for special occasions so we could hang out and try to keep connected through text when I couldn't. Victoria had always mentioned she would make a trip to come see me and we could make plans to do a girls' trip, but those plans never left our text chats. They never got out of the group chat. This continued for about 1.5 to 2 years, and eventually I found a full-time job. My first career job and my dreams of moving back home were effectively canceled. Eventually, I met my now fiance, 31 male. Whoa, we moved in together.
Okay.
Due to his job, we had to move again to another state that put more distance between Victoria and I. My fiance knows about my friendship with Victoria and how hard I tried to keep it going. He also knew how the strong sense of one-sidedness saddened me and often caused me to question if I was good enough friend to her or for her.
Dang.
He eventually convinced me to do a friendship test with her to see if she'd ever start a conversation or reach out without me having to do so first.
Red flag.
As you can expect, Victoria never reached out and has been almost a year since we last spoke to each other. Damn. 3 weeks ago, my fiance proposed.
Congrats.
I was ecstatic and shared the news on my social media. Victoria and I still follow each other and she reached out to congratulate us.
Ooh, I see you.
We had a small conversation and she eventually asked when the wedding was going to be because she was excited to attend.
And be a maid of honor?
Girl, what?
And be a bridesmaid?
That's so weird to be like, yeah, I can't wait to attend the wedding that you haven't invited me to yet. I was a little shocked by this and made the hard decision of letting her know that she wasn't going to be invited.
Whoa.
She became upset and demanded to know why. And when I explained about the friendship test and my feelings about the one-sidedness of our friendship over the past 3 to 4 years, she said that was stupid and called me an a-hole for doing a friendship test on her.
Okay, so past 3 to 4 years it's been like this.
Yeah.
That is tough.
For many years, I thought Victoria would be my maid of honor at my wedding, and it hurt me deeply when our friendship ended. I question if I was in the wrong for doing a friendship test on her, and should I have tried harder to keep our friendship alive? So, am I the a-hole? And there is an edit.
The friendship test.
I mean, I don't think it's great, but also it just doesn't seem like you guys were that good of friends.
Yeah, I wouldn't solely put it on the friendship test.
Yeah. I don't think your friendship was over because of the friendship test.
No.
Edit to answer some questions I've seen below and address some of the comments made. I had discussed with her previously my concerns about our friendship fading away and how I wished we could keep what we originally had. I expressed this to her many times, and each time she would express how she also wanted that and would promise to put more effort into our friendship and communicating. So really, OP did communicate all of this, and the friendship test was just her being like, okay, you know what, I can't do this anymore. It was only after months of seeing these promises not being kept that I decided to do this friendship test. As long as I've known Victoria, she's never had any social problems or disorders such as ADD, ADHD, etc. I know it's possible that this could have developed later in life, but she is someone who is very expressive and posts about her life and her struggles, and she's never made any posts discussing issues such as these. The word test might not have been the right descriptor to describe my actions, but it seemed like the simplest term to use. In general, I wanted to see if she would ever start a conversation with me first or take initiative to try and do so. She has many other friends that are in similar situations as I am. By this, I mean they have moved away from college or moved, and she always talked about how much effort she put into keeping in touch with them and how she even visited them. I am not the only one from her friend group that left the area. Prior to this test, I tried to keep in contact with her often, sending her life updates, asking how she is, congratulating her on milestones and life events such as birthdays, sending her gifts and taking charge on planning trips back and working my schedule around when she was available.
Do you think she may have been with another person or like with a significant other?
I mean, I don't know if it necessarily matters because I feel like even if you have a significant other, if you're not giving time to your friends, then it's just, they don't have to be your friend.
Yeah.
You know? She would either respond with one message and then keep me on read or not respond at all. By the way, we will always respond to you if you join us live every weekday at 3 p.m. PST on YouTube. Just tap our profile. She's made comments the last time I went to see her when we hung out with some of her friends at a family event that started this whole test process, such as, I have the locations of all my friends on my phone, even those in different states. We did not do this. Sarah, fake name, is so busy, but I made sure to text her once every 2 weeks to check in, and others that made it seem like she was letting me know we weren't friends anymore. After reading some of your comments, I reached out to her again to try and understand her side of the situation. She stated it was my fault for moving away and that it was on me to keep the friendship alive. I shouldn't expect her to visit me and put in more effort when I was the reason all of this started. I asked her why she was able to keep in contact with other friends in similar situations, and she didn't answer. Just kept saying if I wanted a friendship, then it was my responsibility to keep in touch, and she'll respond if she remembers and or wants to. That's so messed up.
That is
it's like,
pretty
it's
messed
your
up.
responsible to keep in touch, and I'll do it if I wanna.
And as I've said on the show many of times, I always encourage friendships that you're excited to be around.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait to be around this person. Yeah. Or
if your
someone that
friends are like exhausting you every time you see them,
hit the road.
Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back. But that is the end of that story.